This is the moment every entrepreneur lives for. When the customer actually gives you their money. When they buy. Unfortunately, it is also the time that most wannabe and new business owners screw up. Today we'll talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that newbies make and how to avoid them. If you stick around, I'll also give you access to a free cheat sheet on ways to increase sales without decreasing price.
Distinctions for life. Helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference.
I'm Ron Davis, and I'm all about helping ambitious people go from being wannabe entrepreneurs to having a profitable and sustainable business. I do this by giving you the mental tools to understand your business and by telling you what you need to do next to make it happen. These videos are one way that I do that. Another is a short weekly email I send with a few useful tools, resources, and topics. If that sounds like something you'd like to get your hands on, go to distinctionsforlife.tv and sign up. All right, you've gotten people's attention. You've gotten them to desire your product and trust that you can deliver. What should happen next? Duh, you need them to buy. Sadly, this is where I see most people screw up. And the biggest screw up is you never ask for the sale. Lots of people will build an audience, create a product, and then never ask people to buy anything. This shows up in a couple of ways. First, they literally never ask people to buy their product. This is especially true for YouTubers and podcasters. They are so focused on building and serving their audience that they start to feel that the audience will be offended if they ask them to actually buy something, so they don't mention it. This is one part of what I call leaning back when selling. It is a reluctance to actually offer people what you are selling. It manifests when you don't ask because you are afraid to offend your audience. But it also manifests when you start apologizing about selling them something. Look, if you don't believe in what you are selling, then don't sell it. If you do, then don't be ashamed of it. Don't apologize, don't equivocate. Instead, you need swagger. I was at South by Southwest a few years ago, and I went to a panel of venture capitalists on the topic of why VCs give so much more money to Silicon Valley than the rest of the country. There were lots of reasons, but one stuck in my mind. One of the panelists said, people outside the valley lack swagger, and that hurts them. A lack of swagger is not something you hear people say about Texans much. The panelists went on to say that people outside the valley feel that they need to be very realistic when pitching their company or their product, and that is a good thing. But the problem is that they take it too far. You see, in the mind of a VC, or your buyer, they are going to take a percentage off the top of what they believe your product will really do. People in the valley have learned this and take it into account when being realistic. This also relates to confidence. Buyers are looking to you for an indication that you are going to do what you said. One thing they are looking for is how confident you are. Your customer, like those VCs, want to give money to people who are sure of themselves and their product. It's more than just the price, but let's start with the price. If at all possible, and it is always possible, do not compete on price. Do not compete on price. One more time, do not compete on price. That is a losing game. Instead, you should compete on value and demand a premium price. Setting a price for your product is always tricky, and I'm not going to go too deep into it here, but I have made a free guide with some ideas on how to set prices, indicate higher quality, and make more on each sale. You can get it for free from the link in the description. If you tell me that you want to lower your price, the first thing I'm going to tell you is add value instead. Look for things that you can add that don't cost very much or any money, but add value to your product. Information is a great way to do this. Can you add a written guide to optimizing your product or service? It won't cost much to produce, but it adds value to the product because it makes it more effective. Can you add previously created content to an offer? Maybe you've created video lessons on how to use the product. Add those to your offer for free. I think you'll find that there are lots of ways to do this. But remember, if you incur much of a new cost for this value, then you probably need to make it an upgrade or an upsell of the original product. The goal here in your offer is to deliver 10 to 20 times the price as value to the customer. Take all of that value and list it out as your offer so that the user feels it is a no-brainer to buy. So they feel the price is a steal given all that they are getting. Now that they like your offer, all that is left is to get their money. Again, where so many screw up. How many times have you gone to buy something, especially a digital product, and the process was convoluted? The other night, I wanted to buy an Amazon channel so that I could watch the new Picard series. I was on my Xbox, which meant that I couldn't do it there. Microsoft blocks Amazon digital sales. So I pulled out my iPhone. Nope, can't do it there. Finally, I had to go to a desktop computer in another room and buy it. That is the nightmare of friction. Sadly, you see it online regularly, even when it isn't one platform owner limiting another company. Here is an easy indicator of how hard it is to buy from you. Count the number of clicks. Literally go to the first click that says, I want to buy this thing, to when the payment is processed. I think you'll be surprised. There is a reason that Amazon created and attempted to patent one-click buying. Unless your customer is expected to buy a bunch of different unrelated things, try and get rid of your shopping cart. Go right from the product buy button to checkout. Also, make sure the process actually works. Test your checkout. Test your website. These are just a few tips on reducing payment friction. But let me give you a tool that eliminates all of them. If you are selling a single product with maybe some add-ons, you should consider using ClickFunnels. For $99 a month, you will get the most full-featured, friction-free buying experience on the market. The wizards at ClickFunnels have perfected the process, and no one is even coming close to making the buy process as easy and optimal as they have. There's a link in the description where you can try it for free for 14 days. Question of the day. What is your biggest struggle getting people to buy? Comment below. Now that people have bought your stuff, what's next? You have to deliver. Now is not the time to drop the ball or shortchange your customers. Hit subscribe below if you haven't already and caress that bell to get notified when the next episode comes out. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. This channel is all about helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. Until next time, I'm Ron Davis. All right, you've gotten people's attention, you've gotten them to desire your product and trust that you can deliver. What should happen next? What should happen next is that this should scroll. That's what should happen next.
You look sexy though.
There's a blooper for you.
You look sexy.